Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Hey, what's up? You gotta love that hoe. Welcome back to Herb Oracle. We hit a milestone, I see. I just opened up the podcasting app. We hit 17,000 plays. So good job, listeners. Way to hit that little button with the triangle that fell on its side. Is that how you would describe a play button? It was a triangle, but then it was like, oh, and then that's the play button. Okay, anyways, good morning. Hi. Really smart today. Got a billion ideas flying through my mind. Full moon energy to the max. Are you feeling it? I'm also feeling it into like the extent that like when I took my dogs outside this morning, I was like, you guys are annoying me. So I'm like also feeling like full moon, like, ugh, don't talk to me like that. But I'm also feeling the full moon energy of lots of creative ideas coming in. I'm also feeling the full moon energy of being a little overwhelmed, like, oh gosh, like what am I supposed to do about this or that, or the freaking dentist that's still on my mind. Like I really just need to try to find someone else who takes my insurance, because the vibe just ain't right. The vibe just ain't right where we've been going. So I'm trying not to ignore my intuition, and I'm also trying to not have an anxiety attack. So on that note, dun, da, 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 introducing our herb of the week, so appropriately, Motherwort. So welcome to another week at Ho. I think this is the 31st herb of the week that we've done. So that's pretty awesome. We've done 31 herbs of the week. You can find them all archived on either herbororacle.blogspot.com or herbalmarie.blogspot.com, because I keep them both running differently. The one at Herbal Marie, the index there is in order. Like today, I'll go and I'll link to, I'll put Motherwort at the bottom of the list. Like they're chronological over at Herbal Marie. And then at Herb Oracle, the index there is alphabetical. So depending on what you're into. How was your weekend? Mine was all over the place. I don't even know if I want to take 3 steps back and look at it. But just in a nutshell, I did have a really dark night, the one night. With some help of some Jägermeister, and I needed that. Oh yes, I needed that. I'll tell you in a nutshell what's happening around here for me is an ego slaughterhouse. That's what's happening. My higher self is like really upping the fact that like, oh, we are going to lovingly kill this ego, and we are going to detach from all the illusions, and we are going to do things and not identify with them. So more and more and more, I'm having the personal experience of detaching from my personality, the personal experience of detaching from my projects. And that's what culminated, like almost like a climax, like all of a sudden, I had become so attached to my project that there was no other option than to break down and see the truth that my podcasts are not me. Herbal Marie is not me, and I have to let that bitch go. Do you know what I mean? I have to let the bitch inside me who thinks that podcast is like an aspect like of me, that it's a personal thing, I want people to support it, and then I take it personally when they don't. It's like we have to realize that we do things, but we are not those things that we do. And so it's been a really amazing, I would say, awareness that I've acquired this weekend with the help of my beloved brother, Rumi. Oh yes, Rumi showed up, of course. Anytime there's an ego slaughterhouse going on, you will invite the beloved Rumi in to remind us that we are aspects of the divine, and that is truly, truly what matters. So, and I had that moment, and also reflecting on death with Rumi and the fact that, like, we need to start dying now. We need to start having many deaths every day, letting go of this illusion, letting go of our attachments, and just being. And then when we live our life that way, by dying all the time, when we come to the ultimate death, our wedding night with eternity, it will be a joyous event because we will be ready. So anyways, that was a big chunk of my weekend, and then I balanced it out with cleaning like a psychotic nesting witch. So I am feeling the full moon. I psychotically clean the car. The car is cleaner than the house right now. And it just feels like I need to spring clean. I get that way in the fall. Do you? I would much rather spring clean in the fall. I don't know why. Because we're getting ready to like board up the windows and stay inside more. So yeah, great week to clean, to release. And yeah, if it starts to feel a little overwhelming, we're going to have the perfect herb of the week, Motherwort. So, I did do a Motherwort podcast over at Herbal Marie because it was the very first herb podcast that I did. So much so that I think that it was such the first one that I bet you $5 if I went and I listened to it, I'd probably want to redo it. Like, oh wow, I didn't do that good enough. I don't know if I was ing back then. I don't know if I disclaimed out the wazoo even. Like, it was like, it was the pilot show. Motherwort was the pilot. And then it grew and expanded after that. But nonetheless, she is so important to me. She's one of my favorites emotionally, for emotional. This is one of the herbs that, like, I would hardly even think of anything physical for her other than maybe taking her when I had menstrual cramps. It's emotional. This is an emotional plant association for me anyways. She is that tincture that if you are feeling overwhelmed in the moment, like panic attack in 3, 2, like I just can't handle life anymore. That's a Motherwort moment. Like, oh my God, I have too much stuff to do, or Motherwort moment. Motherwort she just calms you down. Okay, she is a cardio tonic and regulator. So she does have, like, she absolutely has physical things, but it took me 2 minutes to even think of that. Like, cause I don't think of that first. When I think of Motherwort, I think of a beautiful goddess plant sent here to earth to save me from myself. So that's what Motherwort has done for me personally. She has saved me from myself. She's helped me with repetitive thinking. She's helped me with feeling overwhelmed. And I have some that's probably ready to strain out, I'm pretty sure. So if I need her today, and if it's not quite ready, I can always have a little sampler. It doesn't take much. I usually take this tincture directly under the tongue if I'm feeling overwhelmed in that moment. Or if I can sometimes it's like, oh my God, like I'll just put her in some water and sip on her if I just have this like overcast of anxiety that's looming, like the storm clouds that you can see them and sense them. They're not here yet, but you're aware of it. I like her for that too. Okay, so we have 4 cards today. We have the Magical Herb Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy with a message of courage. Beautiful illustration of Motherwort. Then we have the Plant Spirit Oracle by Dana O'Driscoll. And there is a pregnant mama standing in a patch of Motherwort. under a crescent moon, and it's all about fertility, mothering, and children. So we'll sit with that for a little bit. Then we'll go into the Herb Crafter's Tarot with the Madre of Air, and she's like cutting off a big handful of Motherwort with her. What's that curved knife called? I can't remember shit today. Wow. Anyways, and I love her bracelets, and we'll hang out with her, and then we will wrap it up in a complete and thorough way with the Herbal Healing deck by Ashley Verkamp and Sarah Baldwin. And that card has a message of initiation, which is actually amazing and appropriate and correct and like insightful, because it is. Motherhood in itself is a process of initiation. Going through our struggles and hardships and challenges, initiation. And as we continue on, getting a grip, not letting things trigger us like they used to. See, I feel like Motherwort too, like helps us like we're not always going to be like triggered like we used to be, because she literally helps us figure it out, or holds us. I think that's another way to describe her. She holds you. She doesn't fix your problems, but she holds you in a place that gives you the strength and courage and clarity and calmness to be able to fix your own problems. But what I love about this card is you can see like several points along her beam of light that goes, her chamber, her channel, her tower, her pillar of light that comes down into her. She's got several points lit up for like chakra activation, and she's got these beautiful blue eyes. It's the most magnificent card. I love her so much. So anyways, I'm excited to end then with the initiation card from the Herbal Healing deck. All right, so that's our 4 cards. I'm pretty sure that's all I've got here. I would love to have more herbal decks, and but it's like I've already spent $1,000 on Oracle decks, so I gotta wrangle it in and just wait for people to start sending them to me. Like, where is the publisher who wants me to review Oracle decks and pimp them out? So anyways, if anyone has published a plant or herbal or flower, herb, tree, or a deck that would be appropriate here, if you're a new deck publisher or you've independently published it, hook up with me. Gotta love that hoe. That hoe will be your cheerleader. All right, I'm just trying to get a deck for free. All right, here we go. Our herb of the week, Motherwort. I was just peeking in the Motherwort folder. I don't even think I did nerdy words for that part first, her podcast. Yeah, wow. She really does need redone, but we'll see. We'll see. She's like, I forgive you for not. I already know you. She's like, I already know you won't. All right, courage. Courage is the card. It is number 13. Well, isn't that perfect? Because 13 is a number of the goddess, and I honest to God, there are definitely certain herbs that you are just like, this is so goddess sent, and Motherwort was definitely sent by the goddess. Absolutely. So Leonaris cardiaca. The oracle meaning is courage. So she's really like, let the flowers be nice and pinkish and red. You don't always even hardly notice the flowers unless you go to touch it. It's very spiky. But this is all about courage. So Leo, lion, heart, courage, Leonaris cardiaca, courage of the heart. The confidence and strength you need is within and only has to be awakened. So Motherwort right off the bat reminds us that all our courage is within us. It's already in there. It just needs to be awakened. all the energy and endurance you need will be available, and the tools you require will present themselves as needed. So do not hesitate to undertake what is before you. It's like, just go ahead. You can do it. You're going to have all the resources, all the tools, all the courage, all the strength. So go ahead and start. It may take longer than you hope or expect for outcomes to be resolved at any moment, but longevity is assured with any undertakings or commitments made. Listen to your heart, because it is speaking a truth you need to hear. Situations involving children are a focus, and love is also a theme at the moment. Well, that's good news, because we got to start our homeschool studies Monday. We kind of talked about starting today, but I'm like, you guys, it's still technically August. We never start before September, as homeschoolers, where it's like, back off my August, And so we decided to start next Monday on Labor Day. I mean, we don't have any plans. It's not like we're invited to any picnics. So it's like, we'll just start school. So let's talk about Motherwort. It's an herbaceous perennial. It's actually native to Central Asia and Southeastern Europe. So it's usually about 3 feet tall, depending if it's happy where it's planted. The flowers appear in midsummer and are a light pink to lilac color. So yeah, she really gave them more flamboyant flowers than I identify with, but it's pretty. Still very pretty. Pretty. The leaves are dark green and rather large, hanging downwards from the stem in a pattern that resembles a crown. So, this is the magical herb oracle, enchanting secrets from the garden. So we have lots of magical correspondences to talk about with Motherwort. You can use them in spells for love and protection, immortality, truth, children, astral travel, and confidence. So magically, you'll want to remember Motherwort for things like that. The deities connected to this plant are Aphrodite, Venus, Luna, Frigga, Selene, and Ogun. The planet is Venus and the moon. So you're getting a feel for Motherwort, Venus and the moon coming together. The signs are Leo, Libra, Taurus, and Cancer. And the element, you want to take a guess? Water. Of course, right? Because water is the emotional realm, and for real, this is one of the most emotionally attached or associated plants that I think I know personally. Do you know what I mean? Or that I think of. Yeah, there's other ones that I think are really for emotional stuff, like St. John's wort, and probably lemon balm and chamomile and stuff like that. But Motherwort takes the cake. So I've never burnt her, but there is a courage spell, and it says an incense created from Motherwort can help promote astral travel, especially when combined with mugwort. So if you're making a mugwort smudge stick and you happen to have they're like sisters, have some motherwort growing nearby, you could put that in with it. The herb is thought to be one of the very best in offering protection for mothers and children, and can be used to force others to tell the truth. Motherwort will also give you extra courage, so this spell will be valuable at times when you need to boost your inner strength. So it's very easy. You just gather a 1/4 cup chopped motherwort leaves and your evening meal. And you add the motherwort leaves to your meal. You can easily toss them through a salad, or they can be added to any hot dish after it has been cooked. simply stir through or use as a garnish. Before you eat your meal, say, herb of courage, of protection and truth. Give me the power to, and then say what it is you need help with. So, herb of courage, of protection and truth. Give me the power to get through our homeschool year. Give me the power to make good decisions within the dental industry. Herb of courage, of protection and truth. Give me the power to come from my heart space with unconditional love towards my family and friends and the world. So whatever it is you need help with, you can incorporate it into the Motherwort courage spell with your dinner. That's funny to me because this morning on the morning hack on my YouTube channel, I do a little quick morning skit there. And the last thing we do at the very end of the video is go to llewellyn.com and look at the spell of the day. And today's spell was from Tess Whitehurst, and it's because it's National Granola Day, or no, it's National Trail Mix Day. That's what it was. So anyways, it's funny then now to get another kind of spell that makes intentions with food. So it's like, yeah, anytime you're putting anything in your body, whether it be a glass of water or a meal or a bowl of trail mix, you can put a lot of intentions into it. You know, like just even your water. Bless you, water. Bless every drop of you. May you activate my water body in positive ways. Right? The water picks up on your vibe. The food picks up on your vibe. Food will taste better if you bless it. And you can use your food as a magical tool to bring in specific energies and intentions into your body. So anyways, on that note, I love it. Thank you, Sherilyn, Darcy, and dear Dandy for drawing such a beautiful picture of Motherwort and reminding us that we have access to her when we need more courage, and also reminding us that the courage that we are looking for truly lives within. Yeah, you gotta love Motherwort. So anyways, there's probably a few disclaim out the wazoos, like if you have certain heart conditions that it doesn't jive with. I can't think off the top of my head, you guys, like my dreams were very interesting. My dreams are becoming more vivid. And also last night, like I was meditating before I went to sleep again, like I sleep for the second time, because like I did fall asleep. Then like I remember that I needed to brush my teeth again. Ugh, isn't that terrible how indoctrinated we are? We're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted, but I must brush my teeth. Right, it's just so much control. Anyways, so I woke up and then like I wasn't sleepy again. So like I read The Way of Passion, my Rumi book by Andrew Harvey. I read that for a little bit, and then I just started breathing and meditating, you know, because I love to fall asleep like that. But anyways, what I want to tell you is, I'm having trouble remembering it now, but I was seeing like all these incredible like patterns and geometric swirly things like in my meditation. And also like I was like going inside to meditate, and then it like felt like I was like someone turned on a light inside of me, so anyways, I'm having some new experiences in my meditation. I know my master, my guru is like, hey, we don't talk about meditation experiences with each other. I get that. We're not supposed to compare, but I'm just saying things are changing with me every once in a while. So anyways, it's encouraging because sometimes I forget to meditate or I just don't. And I'm feeling like having some new experiences personally will be a little bit more of an incentive, or an encouragement to, a little motivation don't hurt, to want to meditate more. So anyways, you guys, breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe and focus on your breath, my beautiful lovelies, because it's so important. And yeah, you take a breath and you're like, yay, earth, air, good, we like you, we love you. But you know what? Line up your energy, get your chakras, all your ducks in a row, get your ascension column of light, and reach up a little bit higher. And yes, we love you, earth, air, but it's also time for us to be consciously bringing in divine oxygen. So try to breathe with even more reverence and awareness and intention than you ever did before. Think about how that feels. I am breathing in divine oxygen, like oxygen straight from the heavens, oxygen from source, right? It's so good, it's divine. It lights up every one of my chakras and every one of my cells. It's not just earth, air. I'm not putting you down, earth, air. I'm just saying we can reach up a little bit higher now. Reach up a little bit higher, right? So Motherwort, she's saying, yeah, when you're in that moment of having almost an anxiety attack, and like that's when we do call on her, right? Because she's great for those moments of being so overwhelmed, and she does help you bring in the earth, air, like, okay, all right, we can do this, but that's still pretty lower vibe when you think about how it feels to bring in celestial air, right? Divine oxygen. That's a whole different thing. So it's like, yeah, if you're down here just trying to get a little bit of breathing room and you're down here just trying not to panic, I mean, have you ever been in that moment and the earth air still feels thick? The earth air is still like, oh God, you know what I mean? Oh my God, this is overwhelming. Like, right? So it's like this different way of looking at breathing. Like, okay, I gotta literally feel my whole energy, my whole, like your light body, your energetic body. As you inhale, you feel like almost being pulled up, like your shoulders and your spine being pulled up, and reach for that oxygen that's above you. Okay, and acknowledge that I get my support from source, and I pull the energy of the divine into me, and I have access to the higher spiritual realms. And then you consciously think to yourself, I am breathing divine oxygen. And it helps lift you out of that lower state of being, right? When you're just grasping for earth air, okay? Motherwort will help you in those moments, but it's not good enough to stay there, okay? She wants you to reach higher and breathe in divine oxygen. Okay, so the Plant Spirit Oracle, this is a great book by Dana O'Driscoll. Let's open up the page to Motherwort. So I love the pregnant mama on this card. She's wearing a lime green dress, like scoop neck, and she's got like a Motherwort cap. She's very elfish and fairy, and she's got, one hand above and below her beautiful pregnant belly, and she's just in the Motherwort under the crescent moon. So yeah, even though we talked about how Motherwort is native to Europe and the Mediterranean, it's naturalized all over the United States. If you don't have Motherwort, you can order seeds and grow your own Motherwort. I got a plant start from my friend Tiffany a long time ago, and she has slowly reseeded and grown, and you really want this plant. I'm just saying, like, you really want her, because you can make your own tincture with her fresh tops. And you don't need a lot of it, but it's nice to have just in case. So it's about 3 feet, or she says 2 to 5 feet tall. It does have a square ribbed stem, and yeah, let's see. Her leaves can be different in size. They can look different, a little bit like mugwort too. But that has very small flowers. And in her old age, as she is dying back for the year, her seed pods grow extremely prickly and should be handled with care. That is true. It's very sharp. You can find motherwort in gardens, as well in many edges along the edge of paths, forest, fence rows, and more. Okay, so we've got 3 keywords: fertility, mothering, and children. And then, yeah, just think about having access to this plant or inviting her into your garden, or, you know, like she grows in the front of my house. That the year she was the happiest was when I planted sunflowers with her and gave her rabbit poop. And like, just, she really was happy. I did just plant some this year, like a start in the back of the garage, because I was like thinking maybe she would like it back there too. But anyways, you can use, it's best as a tincture, and you could use dried motherwort, but if you have fresh, do that. And yeah, she'll help you in your moments of overwhelmment. She's also good for heart conditions, irregular heartbeat, fast pulse, heart issues tied to anxiety. She can be used to bring on your period if you need that, or for an overactive thyroid, the hyperthyroidism. Finally, it is useful to reduce flatulence and pain caused by gas in the gastrointestinal tract. So yeah, like if you get the anxiety gas and cramping and stuff, she'll help with that. Lemon balm's good for that too. All right, so fertility. She definitely represents fertility at all time. In this picture, obviously it's representing childbearing, but you know, even if you're not having a baby, you can still be so productive, right? Extremely productive, creatively, professionally, personally. So if you get this card in a reading, don't freak out if you're like not trying to get a baby, right? Like you're like, oh my God, no, I got the pregnancy card. Like it could just be like you're pregnant with ideas, or just, you know, whatever kind of fertility is happening in your life, embrace it. You know, love those creative flows. Absolutely. So it is a great card for mothering, nurturing of all kinds. Maybe if you got this card in a reading, it might represent your mother or a mother figure, or just anyone with a strong nurturing spirit. And of course, children. Children come into play, our own, other people's. Maybe you're working with children. Well, I was going to say maybe your husband's acting like a child. But it also can connect you to, like, in a way, it's like, yes, it's a big mothering vibe with this plant, but also, what is your inner child's perspective on the situations in your life? So I've gotten several like bumped up against messages that were kind of like, let your inner child figure it out. You know, like, what would your inner child do? Would your inner child be worrying about this? And what's the best way to handle this from your inner child's perspective? So anyways, there is also that meaning as well. But yeah, it's an awesome card just to look at. It really, she does such great detail with her illustrations. Well, and the first card too, you can see it's got like a real, like they've got there's lots of lines in the leaves, you know, and you'll see that when you grow it in your garden. So now you know why the Herb Crafter's Tarot has Motherwort, the Madre of Air, right? It's very nourishing medicine. Really, aside for them spiky flower tops, it is a very approachable and safe plant. So anyways, Motherwort, Leonaris cardiaca. Here's her message as the Madre of Air. Quick bite, deep nourishment. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Be fierce in service to the heart of the matter. So we're looking at a stand of Motherwort towers over the other vegetation. Like, it's very happy growing where it's at. A woman grabs a bowline. That's what I can never remember what those things are called. In one hand, a bowline, and grasps a large clump of stems in the other. The prickly seeds scratch her, but she tightens her grip and begins the harvest. She vigorously cuts away at the dense forest of Motherwort. So I'll just admit it, I'm totally the wuss in the group that's saying, you know, they do make gardening gloves for a reason. Nonetheless, the Madre of Air is led by a deep sense of integrity. She cuts right to the point, even if it hurts. Like bitter Motherwort, her words may sometimes be hard to swallow, but clarity opens the path to truth. She knows her values and makes quick, rational decisions without doubting her choices. Just as Motherwort softens those with a spiky disposition, which I think in my Herbal Marie podcast, I say that she snaps the bitch right out of you. The Madre of Air diffuses tension with others using humor and wit. She soothes unchecked emotions and allows common sense to come forward. She understands that execution of purpose comes best from a calm, loving center. Embrace your sharp edges. They create the container for your tenderness. I will repeat that for the bitches in the back. Embrace your sharp edges. They create the container for your tenderness. So even if you are a little sharp tongue and you get to the point, at the heart of you, at the center of you, is a tenderness and the capacity for unconditional love. So crafting with the Madre of Air, Motherwort, she really does bring forth that energy that says, make a bold declaration. Cut something from your life today that will clear the path to truth. Like if there's something that like you really could either let go of or cut or just say you're going to do it, that could open up the path of truth for you even more. Make a bold declaration and cut something from your life today that will clear the path to truth. Experience the power of emotional stability. So a way to really connect with this plant is to take Motherwort daily for at least 2 weeks. So up to this point, I basically just sung its praises for that in the moment rescuing, right? It was like a rescue remedy. But let's talk about long-term emotional stability. Try taking Motherwort for at least 2 weeks every day. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And start to feel how powerful it is to have emotional stability. It's going to feel so good, really. Honor the lion-hearted one within you. Wear Motherwort as an amulet for courage and strength. So really see yourself as courageous, as the lion-hearted one within you. Leonaris cardiaca, like the Latin name literally says, the lion one in your heart. All right, had to get up and move around a bit. I'm chilly. I'm going to make myself some ginger root tea. But while I was waiting for the water to simmer for that, I pulled out my tinctures because I was like, yeah, probably it's time. You know, these are probably ready. How about I started the Motherwort on June 17th? So yeah, that's definitely ready. Oh gosh, this is why I don't make tinctures to sell other people. Like, I'm so inconsistent and lax, and like, I don't even know if I feel like straining some of these because like I have like a little bit of a bottle shortage. I mean, yeah, I'll just like tie up more of my mason jars. But I'll tell you what I love storing strained tinctures in, and you can hardly find them anymore, is when Heinz vinegar used to make the glass vinegar bottles for the white vinegar, and they got the white plastic lid. Like, those are like perfect for storing tinctures and vinegars because it has a plastic lid. And then, yeah, you can always put a paper bag around it like a hobo if you want to keep the light out of it better. But anyways, so that's that. Pulling out all those so I can reclaim that cupboard and move them to a different location. So where were we at? Oh, we're at the last card. That's where we're at. And then I gotta like pull some affirmations out of my ass, I guess, today. So thanks for joining me for another week here at Ho. Love that Ho. I made a little button that looked like that. And I saw it on my camera roll this morning during the morning hack. So if you haven't joined me over on my YouTube channel, you are invited to hang out with me more there. I wake up in the morning and I like to be silly. I do. And what else do we do there? Oh, we talk about exercises and the horoscopes, and we do art, daily art, just a quick discussion. So anyways, and a few other things. But anyways, I like the morning hack. It gets me woke up. But I got lots and lots of recording I need to be doing all day long here today. So I better get going. I'm trying not to do coffee. We'll see, though. All right. So this last card is one of initiation. And there's a quote by Robert Anton Wilson who said, "A true initiation never ends." A true initiation never ends. And that totally jives with my eternal being. Like, my eternal being inside of me is going, nodding up and down. Yep, it never ends. It's like, you think you reach one level and get initiated into a new aspect of your life. Well, another one will come along, and then more growth, more expansion, more understanding, more awareness. The initiation never ends because you never end. You are an eternal being, and it will be one initiation after another, after another, after another. So anyways, I love Motherwort. She's helped me so much here on the earth plane, so much in my mothering journey and my mothering initiations. In just the initiation, that it's like we've got to get to the point in our lives where we can handle things, But hey, sometimes we need held. We really do. And I just feel that's exactly what Motherwort does for people. She holds you and nurtures you and reminds you that you have the strength and courage. So it is a member of the mint family, but I mean, unlike other mints, I've never had trouble with her like taking over the world. As a matter of fact, I don't feel like she's spread in my yard. Like, I do not need a bowline to cut her. Like, I don't know what growing conditions the Madre of Air has for Motherwort, but they're not happening in my yard. So that's why I'm trying her in different places, because I'm like, do you need more shade? Do you need more moisture? I'm thinking yes. So anyways, you can experiment or probably research. It probably says it somewhere where she likes to grow best. It's probably like, yes, grow her in a semi-shade location with a sunflower. I'm telling you, that year I planted a sunflower with her, she was so friggin' happy. And and I didn't do that this year. I didn't grow any sunflowers this year. It was a really off year for me, as far as growing things just for beauty. So anyways, all part of my initiation, I'm sure. It is a member of the mint family and has some key uses in herbal medicine. True to its name, this plant facilitates labor and birth by stimulating the uterus. So yeah, disclaim out the wazoo. It is a uterine stimulant. So you actually don't take motherwort during your pregnancy. You would wait until labor, okay? It brings on a delayed menstrual cycle, alleviating cramps, and it definitely helps with PMS. And it definitely helps snap the bitch right out of you. So I should probably take motherwort every day. The plant also lives up to its botanical name, Leonardus cardiaca. Cardiaca comes from the Latin word for heart. And motherwort eases nervous conditions of the heart. So palpitations, high blood pressure, it helps with all that. And that's kind of actually why I don't take it every day. I have a tendency to have low blood pressure. So you have to listen to your bodies, you guys. I mean, and I usually just use her when I need her. Or if I just am really having a crazy ass week, I will connect with her a little bit each day just for moral support, truly. So as a relaxing agent, it soothes those with hyperthyroidism, chronic anxiety, and nervousness. Leonaris is related to the word lion. Many think it suggests the connection to be the flower's stalk resemblance to a lion tail, but it could also be a reference to the astrological sign of Leo, which rules the heart. Motherwort comes to facilitate an initiation within your life. The birth of something new is at hand, something that will instigate a new way of being. Physical birth is a major initiation for everyone involved. 2 people become parents, 1 becomes a child, and many more become relatives. All are changed. Just as becoming a mother changes everything, the body, values, and perspective, daily routines, and focus, so too can a new project, a relationship, or a viewpoint. So there are lots of different initiations that can be birthed into your life. You may give birth to something that changes your life in some way. So yes, this literally could be a child, but it could also be like another kind of creation, such as a project or an idea, or just a new stage of your life, you know? Drawing motherwort could also indicate an initiation into a circle of friends, a spiritual group, a school, tradition. Maybe you're going to start hanging out with the Arcturians. I don't know. Another side of this influence involves the entrance into maturity or adulthood, or a graduation from one level to another. Looking back at this time, you might recognize a turning point whereby you left one reality or paradigm and entered another. So it's like that maiden to mother transition. There is a point where you are no longer a maiden. Even if you're a maiden right now and you're like, oh no, I'll always be like this. Bullshit. Trust me, your perspective will change. You might still always look good in size 5 jeans. I get that, okay? But like your paradigm, your reality literally can change as you gain greater perspective and awareness. like you'll get to the point where you're like, I just can't be stupid anymore. Not saying that all maidens are stupid, but from a mother's perspective, you guys are all dumb. Like, I'm just saying that for myself too. Like, when I look back, like can you look back 2 years ago and say that you're smarter now? Well, think about what it's going to be like in 20 years, in 40 years, in 60 years, right? You look back and it's not like you're knocking yourself, but you can just see how much you've grown, learned, experienced, been initiated into. So all aspects of ourselves are valid and important and fun, right? I would never take those maiden years away, but I could just never redo them or relive them because I know better now. That's all I'm saying. So when I hang out with people half my age now, like, I see that someday they're going to look at their lives in a completely different way. That's all I'm saying. I just lost all of my maiden listeners. Okay. So anyways, Motherwort is a wonderful healer for those cut off from the mother archetype in any way. So if you have mother issues, if you don't like being mothered by females or nurtured by females, it could maybe help you with that. If you are a mother and you're having trouble feeling nurturing to your child, Motherwort could help with that. I mean, I remember one of my friends from high school calling me, like, and she at least did reach out. I can't really say this was a success story, but like, she was having so much trouble, like, wanting to even nurse her child or be with her child. She was really, really struggling. Had I had been an herbalist when I was 19, because this was a young mom situation, Motherwort could have helped in that situation. You know, so anytime you're feeling like a little cold-hearted, I mean, maybe not just even nurturing your children, but anyone in your life, think about connecting with this plant for that reason. So for the mamas, though, the act of breastfeeding nourishes the heart chakra for both mother and child. So it's like, really, like, if you can nurse your kids, like, I mean, and that was the trouble too. Like, you know, she had a blockage for whatever reason about nursing her baby, which was probably more involved than we all realize. But like, you know, and then so she like couldn't get herself to nurse her child, breastfeed her child. Well, then she didn't get those hormones released. She didn't get her heart chakra nourished or opened. And then, yeah, like, her whole parenting story has been a little bit of a struggle finding that emotional connection as a mother. So we really are designed, you know, like, breastfeeding is super duper important for lots of reasons. But anyways, if we ever experienced a lack of emotional support from our own mothers, the heart may harbor pain that needs to be released. So this could manifest as issues with one's own maternal figure or difficulty embodying the process of creation. Motherwort will help clear up any lack of flow you may be experiencing. Changes with your own mother might also come up at this time. Open your heart to the process. So all maternal things, mothering things, Motherwort, that's her domain. At such a critical time of movement, it is important to remain focused on where you are headed. And the eyes in this Motherwort plant on this card from the Herbal Healing deck are so focused. They're these beautiful crystal light blue eyes, and they're calm, and they're kind, and they're focused. It's important to remain focused where you are headed. Hold your intention for the kind of life you would like to create. Motherwort says, hold your intention for the kind of life that you would like to create. Get your heart involved with this process. So make your intentions and then get your heart in it. Okay, that's how you will truly manifest. Really listen to your heart, to its urgings, and all the messages that can come through. While initiation can be an exciting time, it can also be a difficult passage to undergo. So, thinking about like ceremonial initiations or like indigenous into a spiritual tradition, they can be very arduous and even dangerous and just freaking weird. Right? If you've ever watched like a National Geographic documentary of like African tribe initiations like that were filmed in the 80s, man, I remember being like scared of some of the stuff they had people do. All right, so anyways, what else is also arduous and possibly dangerous? Childbirth, right? It can be very laborious for both the mother and child, yet the results are miraculous. So sometimes you have to remember, like, okay, the tougher the initiation, the deeper one can go into the experience of life. So it's like, yeah, sometimes it is tough and difficult and scary and pushes you to the boundaries in your mind, right? Because that's what needs to happen, to maybe break down and let go of what's holding you back, you know? And so we have to be pushed to that limit so that we can literally break through and break free into our newly initiated state. So lastly, remember, constriction and limitation are sometimes needed before a new world can open up. Okay, so the contractions, right? A different type of existence awaits you, beckoning from the other side of the birth canal. So yeah, contractions, labor, wow. Like, I'm glad I'm done having babies. I love my babies. I love my 3 beautiful children so very much. But I hope I never got to do that again. You know what I mean? It was crazy, but I was strong enough and determined enough to handle it. Absolutely. And I would not ever wish that I did it, but I'm just saying, hang in there. Okay? Hang in there. Because if you're in the middle of your initiation in your life, whatever it may be, and it just feels like you're in the middle of labor and contractions, hang in there, because you are moving on down the birth canal of your life, and the results will be miraculous. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our embracing herb of the week, Motherwort, and I lovingly dedicate them all to you. Thank you so much for your support. I am nurturing. My courage allows me to open my heart. I am fertile. I birth new creations into my life. With calmness and strength, I welcome the never-ending initiation of mothering. I am nurturing. My courage allows me to open my heart. I am fertile. I birth new creations into my life. With calmness and strength, I welcome the never-ending initiation of mothering. And so it is. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Our herb of the week, Motherwort, so sweet. Appropriately enough, I hear my children stomping around upstairs. I mean, on the one hand, I'm so thankful that like my teenagers want to sleep all the whole morning away, because it gives me lots of time to record my podcast. Like, it's almost 11:30. But also I'm like, listen, girl, mama girl, you got to get up earlier. You got to get up earlier and get your things done. Because maybe then your kids will get up earlier. But you know how teenagers are. So anyways, thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll do tarot. Wednesday we'll manifest more patience. And then as you know it, Thursday we hang out with the trees. And then Friday, bam, we'll have some more fun. But you know what? To me, this is all fun. All of it. All of it. And I thank you so much for joining and journeying along with me. You gotta love hoe.